I'm going to rank the most popular gaming keyboard, but before we get started, I want to thank you all for 500 subs. This really means a lot to me and I cannot show my gratitude enough. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. The first Hall effect keyboard on this list is the Wooting 60HE. This is probably the most well-known gaming keyboard and for good reason. It was the first keyboard to ever implement Hall effect functionality and had amazing performance at the time. However, right now, the keyboard is definitely not worth buying. It costs almost $200 and you can get keyboards that are just as good if not better for like 1/4 of the price. Today I would not recommend buying the Wooting 60HE as it sounds like a poorly modded GK61. Neither the quality nor the performance are anything special, that's why I'm going to put it into C tier. The next keyboard we'll be talking about is the monsgeek 60HE. When I'm talking about keyboards that are better than Wooting for 1/4 of the price, this is what I'm talking about. You're only paying $60 to $70 for a fully aluminum keyboard with TMR switches which perform as good as Wooting keyboards. The keyboard can be wireless and overall you're getting your money's worth when buying this product. The keyboard is super heavy and feels really premium in hand. The only slight issue I have with this keyboard is that the sound quality is not the best, but for such a good product I think it's not a deal breaker. Not giving this keyboard S tier would just be dishonor, so that's where I'm putting it. The third keyboard on our list is the nuphy Air 75HE, and for me this keyboard is only worth it if you like low profile keyboards. The keyboard looks very unique and the transparent keycaps look very nice. The Air 75HE also isn't too expensive, so it won't break your wallet like later keyboards on the list. For me, this keyboard doesn't really stand out that much and is only worth buying if you really want a low profile design. It does everything good but not great. I'm giving it a solid B as it does its job, but it didn't put the grind, the hustle that is necessary for higher tiers. The next keyboard is going to be the madlion Mad 60HE. This was, I think, the first ever truly budget Hall effect keyboard. It cost only $40 and people were calling it the wooden killer. However, I'm going to put it into the D tier. Why, you might ask? Well, this being the first ever budget Hall effect keyboard, it still had a lot of issues. The main one being its terrible motherboard, which made the switches become really inaccurate after a couple months. The quality of the build also wasn't good, which means there's a very high probability that the keyboard would just not work well after a couple of months. This is why I cannot give this keyboard more than a D tier. Up next, we got another Wooting keyboard, this time being the Wooting 80HE. I'm going to put it into the B tier. They improved a lot of stuff with this keyboard, such as the performance, sound and quality, but I don't think that is enough for the price increase that came with it. The keyboard costs over $200 and you can buy a keyboard that performs sounds and is built better for less money. I'll say this, it's still a better keyboard than the Wooting 60HE, but for the price we're paying, I wouldn't buy it. That being said, I'm excited for what Wooting is cooking with the 60HE V2. The fifth keyboard in this tier list is going to be the Apex Pro V3. This, in my opinion, is just a really basic gaming keyboard that doesn't really excel in anything it does. It works, it has Hall effect features, and it has an OLED screen. It costs around $150 and for that price, it's not a terrible keyboard, but it's also not that good. Giving anything more than a C would be just straight up glazing, so I'm going to put it there. Next keyboard on the list is the Mchose Air 68. This is one of my personal favorite keyboards you can buy for under $100. It performs just as well as the Wooting and doesn't cost an average paycheck of a Balkan dad. The keyboard has a very aesthetically pleasant open switch design and a light bar, making this keyboard look so cool. The keyboard also has 5-layer acoustic dampening, making it sound incredibly nice. This keyboard just does so many things perfectly and for me is a standard for budget magnetic keyboards. If you couldn't tell, I really fucking like this keyboard and it's going into S tier. Now we have the Asus Falchion Ace HFX. Who knew that Asus could actually make a good keyboard? The Falchion HFX is overall very good. It has fast performance with really amazing switches that sound and feel buttery smooth. This keyboard also allows you to customize the actuation point and most settings just through the touch bar and a knob on the top. This is very handy and just useful as you don't have to install the company's shitty software with built-in aim trainers for some reason. What's stopping me from giving this keyboard S tier though is the fact that it costs like $250 and isn't made from aluminum. Asus says that the metal would affect the performance of the switches, but we all know the real motive. I'm still giving it A tier as besides the price, the keyboard is really good. good. Up next, we got another budget keyboard, the Aula Hero 68HE. This keyboard costs only $65, and for that, you're getting an extremely high performance keyboard with a very big box light on the front, giving it some uniqueness. The performance is also very good, having 8K polling and 128K scan rate. The keyboard sounds okay and the quality is surprisingly good for the price range. I still think the Fun 60 is a better value proposition, but if you care more for performance, I recommend getting this as well. Like the Falchion HFX, this is going into A tier. The last keyboard in today's video is going to be the Chillkey Sly 75, and for me this keyboard is probably the best premium Hall effect keyboard you can buy. It has very good performance, but what really makes this keyboard stand out is its amazing build quality. It uses very good feeling CNC aluminum for the case, cork dampering, and even gasket mounting, giving this keyboard not only good performance but also an amazing typing quality, which is usually a massive downside of Hall effect keyboards. I really recommend buying this keyboard as it costs only $200 and has extremely unique and nice design and same build quality and decent performance as well. The hype for this keyboard is completely deserved and I'm going to put it into the S tier. Let me know if I missed any keyboards. Once again, I want to thank you all for 500 subs and see you guys in the next video. Bye.